Hello everybody, welcome to the Gamer Game Show and a brand new Docu video. With the Suicide Squad movie coming out soon and the animated Killing Joke movie recently being released, we thought it would be appropriate to do a Docu video on the evolution of the Clown Prince of Crime himself in video games. So let's get started. The Joker made his first appearance in a video game on the Amiga computer system in 1988. The game was entitled Batman the Caped Crusader and had a pretty cool retro style look to it. I mean, granted, retro was the only style back then, but nonetheless, it looks pretty freaking cool. Anyway, the game featured the Joker kidnapping the boy wonder Robin and leaving a Joker playing card behind for Batman as a clue. Eventually, Batman takes the Joker down and rescues Robin. We move on to 1 year later in 1989 when the game simply titled Batman was released for the NES. The game was based off of the movie that was released the same year, directed by Tim Burton. The Joker is up to his dastardly deeds as always, and Batman has to stop him, so the plot was pretty straightforward with the Joker being the mastermind behind everything. The cool thing about this title was that since it was based on the movie, Jack Nicholson, or his likeness actually, got to be in the game. We don't see the Clown Prince for about 3 years after his 1989 game, but he finally shows up again on the SNES and Sega consoles in 1992 in the release of Revenge of the Joker. The 2D side-scroller features the fresh out of Arkham Asylum Joker as the main criminal of the game as he forces Batman to go through many trials to reach him. Once Batman finds the Joker, a fight ensues where the Joker eventually is defeated by good old Bats and his plan literally blows up in his face. Since the Joker failed in his plan, he decided to attempt Plan B a year later in 1993, this time on a smaller screen. With the release of Batman the Animated Series game on the Game Boy handheld console, the Joker tried to send a shipment of teddy bears rigged with explosives to children all over Gotham City. The Joker manages to escape Batman's grasp for a while in the game by going through hidden passages and sending waves of henchmen in Batman's direction. In the end, though, the joke is on, well, the Joker when Batman takes him down. Another year later, in 1994, the Joker returns on the SNES again. This time, the Joker lures the Dark Knight into an amusement park of all places, where he eventually battles him on a roller coaster. And the boss battle design is actually pretty creative for the system that it was designed for. You can clearly see that it was modeled after the animated Batman series that was so crazy popular in the 90s. The game released on different consoles, and for some weird reason, the Joker's role changed on each console. On the Sega Mega Drive, he was released by Mr. Freeze to distract Batman, and on the Sega CD version of the game, he is sent by Clayface, kidnaps Robin, and then battles Batman on bumper cars instead of a roller coaster. Okay, let's get out of the 80s and 90s and into the Y2K era. The year 2000 featured the Joker in Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. This one is a little weird as it's based off of the movie that was released direct to video. Joker is the final boss in the game, but it isn't quite the Joker. It's Tim Drake, who had a microchip implanted in him that possessed a Joker DNA program. I don't know, it was the early 2000s. We didn't know what we were doing back then, okay? Leave us alone. In 2001, the Joker made an appearance in a Game Boy game called Chaos in Gotham. His appearance was brief and pretty pitiful. A fight ensued between him, Harley, and Batman, and once Harley is defeated by Batman, the Joker just gives up, and it's really barely worth mentioning on this list. Speaking of bad Batman games, Batman Gotham City Racer released in 2001 as well, and you could chase the Joker in the Batmobile. It was awful. We do not talk about this game. Ever. 2 years later, after recovering from the Mario Kart Batman Edition fiasco, we get our first serious attempt at a 3D Batman game. The simply titled Batman Vengeance had the Joker as its main villain. He tries to kill a woman and then kidnaps the woman's son for a $5 million ransom. After discovering that it was all some elaborate trap, a fight ensues as usual, and the Joker falls off of a ledge to what should have been his death, but he survived. Because he makes DC a lot of money. And you can't kill the Joker off. In the same year, the Joker appears in Batman Dark Tomorrow. The Joker kidnaps Gordon, and of course Batman has to save him. This one is pretty short and sweet. Batman has to fight Zsasz, and discovers that the Joker was only employed by Ra's al Ghul as a distraction. Wait, could it be? Finally, a good Batman game? Why, yes it is, but it's also a Lego game. In 2008, Lego Batman the video game released, and it was of course a hit. All Lego games are. In this version of the Joker, you actually get to play as the Clown Prince of Crime. The Joker tries to set off a bomb full of Joker toxin to infect Gotham, blah blah blah, all the usual, but you get to play as the freaking Joker, and that's what makes this game one of the best. In 2008, another release had the Joker in it, and that release was Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. It was basically your usual crap story mashup arcade fighting game. Nothing super special about it, but you got to kick butt as the Joker, so that's kinda cool. And now, the mother of all Joker appearances in a video game, the Batman Arkham series that began in 2009. This series finally defined what a good Batman game should be, and where would this amazing series be without its main antagonist, the Joker? The Joker is amazing in these games. He looks perfect, and Mark Hamill voices him, so he even sounds perfect. The game features the Joker running around trying to, of course, bring Gotham into chaos. His character is much darker in this version, and is a picture-perfect version of our modern-day comic book Joker. 3 years later, in 2013, we got DC Universe Online. The DC-themed MMORPG, you get to choose a side, hero or villain, and if you choose villain, you can have the Joker as your mentor. Or if you choose hero, you can defeat him in a not-so-epic MMORPG boss fight. That's pretty much all there was to that one. Still, really awesome game, and it's totally free, so you really can't complain too much. And finally, we have the Joker depicted in the 2013 Injustice God Among Us video game adaptation. This game, like the Mortal Kombat v DC Universe game, is a fighting game, but this one is set in an Injustice comic world, and it is much, much, much better. The Joker is dropped into a world where Superman rules the government and decides that he should take advantage of the chaos. Of course, he gets stopped as always, but it's still one of the best DC fighting games around. Also, I have to say I am super hyped for Injustice 2 coming out in 2017. Just saying. Well guys, that was our Docu series on the evolution of the Joker in video games. If you enjoyed this video, help us out by dropping a like. It lets us know you want more videos just like this one. And hitting that subscribe button helps support us as well. We thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time here on the Gamer Game Show.